everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, time of possession is something to watch. The Packers are top 10 in first downs, and they go up against the Lions team that wants to control the game as well.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And a look here at their go-to guy under center. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And a give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. They're going to look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack.
All right, here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the pickup, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down near the 34-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done. And
the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it...
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Back to throw now on first down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. On 4th down, here's Justin Vogel on to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Fights him off. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Lions will take over. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. A nice job of just sticking the helmet down 9 yards on the play, but still 3rd and 12 now.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
23 yards on the play.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
11 more on that one and another first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he's got his man Hilton. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A good pickup there, a 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that?
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Good bounce-back drive right there. Through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back. Tremendous poise. Confidence never lost. And obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. He had a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he is knocked down from the side. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them, because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This will be fielded at the 17. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And getting our first update now from Nashville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now back to throw. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting ahead at the 15. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
On the NFL scoreboard, second quarter in Nashville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And they're definitely showing blitz here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
Green 39.
They'll throw now on the final play. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So we have reached halftime with a visiting Lions. Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. It's a short kick taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in the situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Out come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second down, here's an option right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And it's fielded at the 34. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Room to run inside the 40. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. It's a big play there for the Lions. 48 yards. They'll run here with Bernard. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Giovanni Bernard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses, because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline, because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Elsewhere, NFL scoreboard, 3rd quarter now in Tennessee. And the Titans really stretching things out now as they've scored again. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Underneath, this is Bernard. And now running right through him. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And this is incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And his kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Here comes Montgomery now to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He takes this for 3 to the 29. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Packers on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Montgomery. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. They'll drop the throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete. It's Montgomery. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here we go.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he's got some space here. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on 3rd down.
Make no mistake about it. That's a really dangerous place to run that play. But the way that they're spreading the defense horizontally, you've got to think that as the game goes on, they'll find opportunities vertically downfield as well.
The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll look to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. He's airing it out, and that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw. Going up top. So they took a shot there on third down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Fielded just inside the 20. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity miss there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. And big sigh of relief, huh?
Yeah, usually those wide receiver fumbles, there's open space around for the defense, but not there. He hops right back on it.
3-19.
Back to throw here. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go. No. Check. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to air one out. And running with power into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game, but